Hi guys, welcome to my fantasy football week 13 predictions. So we're gonna start off just going right into it. Um Colts vs Texans, David Johnson's on track to play. Um Start Brandon Cooks because he's gonna be the number one receiver for the Texans. Start David Johnson. And this is Deshaun Watson's first game without either DeAndre Hopkins or Will Fuller. Um and as I said on Tuesday, Will Fuller has been suspended for the remainder of the 2020 season and the first game of the 2021 season. Jonathan Taylor, I would start him because I just think he's going to continue to become more of the Colts' lead running back. Saints vs Falcons, injuries, Julio Jones is questionable. Todd Gurley's also questionable. Um, I'd probably start Gurley if he plays, and the reason I say probably is because if you have running backs that are better, or you think are going to do better, I would start them. Um, for example, I had Gurley, Swift, Taylor, and one other player. I forget who. And then um Swift was downgraded to doubtful, so I put in Gurley. But I wasn't planning on starting Gurley. Start Alvin Kamara even with his struggles with Taysom Hill at quarterback. I would never um sit a good player even when they're struggling. So like Kamara, for an example, I would never really sit him because he's just a great player. Um, because I always fear that whenever you sit them, they're gonna have a great game and you're gonna end up losing. Raiders vs Jets, Josh Jacobs is out. Um, if you need a fill in at running back, DeAndre Booker. No, not DeAndre Booker. Devontae Booker. Sorry, Devontae Booker. He's a great fill in, and I just I would say to start him. Browns vs Titans. Injuries. Jonnu Smith is out. At least I think that's how you say that. Um, Jarvis Landry start. Austin Hooper start. And I've been debating this one back and forth between Kareem Hunt and Myles Gaskin. Gaskin is playing. I'll get to that in a minute. I think I'm going to start Hunt. Jaguars vs Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. is out and Alexander Madison is out. So Irv Smith, him being out, that's going to give more to Kyle Rudolph, and I would start Rudolph. DJ Chark, I guess I would start him. I'm just weary of it because Glennon is the quarterback, and he's not very good. Bengals vs Dolphins. Myles Gaskin. It was said this afternoon that he's been activated off the injury reserve and will play tomorrow. That's good. Tua is questionable, and Ahmed is doubtful. So, DeAndre Washington for the Dolphins is also out. So is Matt Breida. So that's going to be big. So it's a good thing that they activated Gaskin so they can have running backs. I would sit all Bengals, even Bernard, Boyd, Higgins. And I guess start Devontae Parker. I don't really know. If you need a receiver, start him. Otherwise, I'd probably sit him. Lions versus Bears. Nick Foles is questionable. Allen Robinson is questionable. Kenny Golladay is questionable. DeAndre Swift, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, was downgraded to doubtful. And Matthew Stafford is questionable. While Swift is unlikely to play, I would still not start Adrian Peterson. I would, because I think he's going to have to split a lot of the work with Johnson, so I wouldn't start them. Either of them. Marvin Jones, I would also sit. And David Montgomery of the Bears is a must-start running back. And he had a great game last week against the Packers. Giants vs Seahawks. Chris Carson is expected to play. Daniel Jones is doubtful. Colt McCoy is online to start. I would start Wayne Gallman. He's been playing extremely well. The Giants also recently today, this is Saturday, December 5th, that I'm recording this, at roughly 8:15. But Gallman, he's been playing extremely well in the absence of Devontae Freeman, and Freeman is on the injury reserve and was just today placed on the COVID reserve list. And I would even sit Evan Ingram, because he's been getting a lot of targets and has been very productive with Daniel Jones at quarterback. But with Jones unlikely to play, it's going to be Colt McCoy, and I don't really trust McCoy. Rams versus Cardinals. Injuries. Keep an eye on Kyler Murray's shoulder. He's only rushed the ball 10 times in the last 2 games. So, and his fantasy points rely a lot on his rushing. So, and I'd sit all 3 of the Rams running backs, Akers, Henderson, and Brown. I just don't trust any one of them. But if I had to go with one, I would probably say Henderson. And then Brown. I wouldn't go with any of them. But, Patriots versus Chargers. Kellen Balaj is questionable, and Cam Newton is questionable. Sit Cam Newton anyway. Packers versus Eagles. No notable injuries. Start Miles Sanders even after not a great performance last week against the Seahawks. Start Dallas Goedert. Hopefully Zach Ertz doesn't take away from Dallas Goedert because Ertz can come off the injury reserve and probably will. Broncos versus Chiefs. Jerry Jeudy, Philip Lindsay, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire are all questionable. I'm starting Jeudy because I need receivers. And then there's a league where I'm not very good in receivers. I have like Marquise Brown, and Jerry Jeudy, and I have AJ Green on my bench, which I'm considering dropping him because Green, he hasn't been productive, and I don't trust any Bengals, as I said before. Steelers versus Washington football team, no notable injuries. Definitely start Antonio Gibson. I'd start all 3 Steelers wide receivers, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, and Deontay Johnson. So Bills versus 49ers, no notable injuries. Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, I would both start because they seem like reliable receiver options. Lamar Jackson is Ravens versus Cowboys. Lamar Jackson is eligible to play. Hopefully he will. And Mark Andrews is eligible to play. Hopefully he will play as well. Start Ezekiel Elliott and start J.K. Dobbins. So that's it for my week 13. Week 13. So yeah, that's it for my week 13 fantasy football preview. So like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Comment any questions, and so thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, comment questions, and good luck tomorrow in your fantasy football matchups. So goodbye.